guys, welcome to Pro Gun live stream. Today is Saturday, July 12th, 2025. And I'll give it a minute for people to join. Another hot Saturday in Tennessee today. And I'm trying to get my laptop to cooperate. All right, I finally got my laptop cooperating. And I'll give it another minute for people to join. And AG, good afternoon to you, sir. It's another hot day in Tennessee today. I was lucky I received 2 optics from Zalissi to review, and I will be putting one of them on my new Savage Stance XR, and I'll be doing the review sometime today, and keep an eye out for it. Zalissi optics are awesome products. They're fantastic for the money. I got to tell you, I put those Zalissi optics up against my Hollow Sun any day, and for $125, you just can't beat them. So, as you all know, if you've been on the stream before, Father's Day, I bought 2 new guns. I bought a Ruger SR 1911, and I bought a Savage Stance XR Micro. And I got to tell you, that Savage Stance Micro, if you haven't seen it, it is awesome. Mr. Real, hello to you, sir. I used to carry my Springfield Hellcat Pro, and that used to be my favorite carry gun for work until I got the Savage Stance XR, and I think that is my new concealed carry gun. For the money, it's got a lot of features. I'm really happy with it, and Zalissi Optics sent me 2 optics to review, so I'll be throwing one of them on there. Now that we have some people here, I want to explain something about the Big Beautiful Bill. I go to different gun forums, and I think people misunderstood because a lot of people are saying, woohoo, wow, we did great. Well, it really was not a win for gun owners. And I guess they didn't read what the Big Beautiful Bill actually said regarding the suppressors and short-barreled rifles. So I'll explain that because Obviously, there's a lot of people confused about it, and I think they misinterpreted it. What they did was the parliamentarians stripped out all the verbiage regarding removing suppressors in short barreled rifles from NFA. So basically, all that changed is that they removed the $200 tax stamp. That is not a win for gun owners. All that, the purpose of this was not just for monetary reasons. Um, we wanted to have suppressors and short barreled rifles removed from NFA. And hello, Barbara. Glad you could join us. Um, so basically, nothing changes other than you no longer pay the $200 tax stamp. You still have to file forms with the ATF. Um, so you're not going to your gun store and buying a suppressor and going home with it. So a lot of gun owners are misinformed, thinking that this was a win for gun owners. It is not a win. However, Gun Owners of America is in the process right now of filing the big, beautiful lawsuit against NFA, ruling it unconstitutional. And I think they have a shot with the suppressors because suppressors probably should have fell under the National Hearing Protection Act. So I get it with the suppressors. They're probably going to have a hard time with the short-barreled rifles. But I just wanted to clarify this because I frequent a lot of gun forums, and I can't believe how many people are saying this is a win for us when it actually isn't. So much for that. Like I said, Zulisi Optics sent me two new optics to review, a Otter and a Z1R. They're both RMSC cut, which is one of the most popular. And I now run Zulisi Optics on almost every gun I own except for my Hellcat Pro. And that one has got a Holosun 407. And for half the price, I got to tell you, trust me on this, the Zulisi Optics performs at least as well as the Holosun. So I'm just saying, watch my videos. They're great products. Another thing I want to comment on is if people haven't seen the Ruger RXM yet, you really need to give that thing a look. I've had it for a little while now. And the more I use it, whether it's for dry fire training or at the range, the more I like it. Even though it's Glock Gen 3 compatible, I definitely am not going to call it a Glock clone because there are more differences than similarities between them. Yeah, it's great that it's compatible with Glock Gen 3. You can use a lot of aftermarket accessories and holsters and things like that. But the Ruger RXM, for now, they're about $360. They're already out of the box, optic ready. They have a front tritium night sight, and it's just a phenomenal gun for the money. It also has got a flared mag well, which is really nice. They did an outstanding job on the grip. The grip was made by Magpul, and if you own an AR-15, you probably have a Magpul grip on it, and Magpul just knocked it out of the park with that grip module. They also made the fire control group, which is removable. That has the serial number. So they kind of did what Sig Sauer and Springfield did, so that you can buy replacement grip modules, barrels, slides, etc., without going to an FFL. I have the compact, which is all that's available right now. I go to Magpul's website every day because they're going to be releasing a subcompact and a full-size grip module for like $39. But I think they're just toying with us right now because every time I go to their website, it just keeps saying coming soon. I did enter my email address to be notified, but I just check every day anyway. And again, I can't see who you are unless you type a message. So for people who did join, I welcome everyone. Only I can't give you a shout out because I don't know who's here. And like always, when you type in your comments, I may not always see them because they scroll by really quickly. So I apologize for that as well. And Ultrafire, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you. Hope you're all enjoying your weekend. It is another brutally hot Saturday in Tennessee. It's a Saturday. I know you guys got a lot of things to do, and I appreciate that you're spending your time with us because you could be doing a lot of other things right now, so we appreciate that. To answer your Ultra Fire, yes, I do own AR pistols, and I built all of my AR pistols. I have two 5.56 pistols, one with a 7.5 and one with a 10.5 inch barrel, and I most recently built a 300 blackout pistol, which I always wanted to do. And while we're on that subject, when I build my AR rifles or pistols, I've always been partial to the Anderson lower receivers. For the money, you can't beat them. My local Rural King here has got Anderson lowers pretty much all the time for $49. Well, Ruger has just acquired Anderson Manufacturing. I'm betting that Anderson Manufacturing has been making the lowers for the Ruger ARs for years, and Ruger just bought the Anderson Manufacturing facility, and Ruger said they will no longer be selling the Anderson Manufacturing brand. So I'm betting not too long from now you won't see any more Anderson lowers for sale, whether it's Palmetto or anywhere else for cheap, if at all. And that's a little disappointing because now you'll have to go to Aero Precision, and they're a lot more money. And Robert, welcome. Thanks for joining. And it's going very well here. How are you? That 7.5 inch barrel I built is a 5.56. My 300 blackout is 10.5, and my other 5.56 is 10.5. I built the 7.5 inch for fun. Just so you know, if you're thinking of building an AR pistol, I got to tell you, the 7.5 inch barrel is a hell of a lot of fun. However, if you had to use a 7.5 inch AR pistol for home defense, you'll probably blind and deafen everyone in the room. It's like a freaking flamethrower, and it is loud. I would recommend going with the 10.5. And Robert, fixing dinner. Where are you from that you're fixing dinner this early? And Ultrafire, you can't go wrong with the Springfield Saint. I've been looking at that for years. It's a lot of money when, you could build your own AR pistol for about $400. So that's why I built all of mine. I do have a full-size AR rifle. That's the Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 2. Lunch, Kentucky. Yeah, no worries. I was just wondering if you were in the UK or something. But no matter where you're from, it's good to have you. I love these Saturday afternoon live streams. I really love the interaction with my viewers and subscribers. And I want to thank you all because we're now pushing towards 7,000 subscribers. And uh, we would never have been able to do that if it weren't for you guys. Yeah, I get you, Robert. I get up early too. I don't sleep well. I never have. I'm up normally at 5:30, and I started the live stream a couple minutes late because I finally got my fat ass back to the gym a week or so ago. So um, I also do that on one day during the week and Saturday and Sunday morning. So if you, for anyone else out there, also, if you haven't built your own AR pistol or rifle, um, it's it's a good learning experience. I got to tell you. I mean, everybody should build an AR pistol. You'll learn so much about the AR platform by building it. Um, you know, it'll cost you about $400 for everything, uh, and that includes the tools. I mean, you will need a punch and roll pin set, but once you have that, you could build as many as you want. And uh, it's not so much that building your own is cheaper, because you could certainly spend more money building your own than buying one. The benefit of building your own is that you use the components that you want. Um, Even on an expensive AR, I guarantee you, you're going to bring it home and you're going to say, the trigger sucks, the grip sucks, the collapsible stock sucks. There is no perfect gun. There's always something you don't like about it, right? Well, when you build your own AR pistol or rifle, you get to put the components you want in it. So normally it's cheaper, but it doesn't have to be. But I would say for about $600 to $700, you could build like a really top of the line AR pistol. And if you already have the tools from your first build, you could probably do it for under 500. I get all of my complete upper receivers from Bear Creek Arsenal, and they're made in the USA in North Carolina. And I think for Black Friday, I picked up my upper receivers for under $170. And that's, by the way, that is a complete upper receiver with the bolt carrier group. When you look at upper receivers, there's always a little asterisk that says BCG not included. Well, Bear Creek, you do get it. And I also have a rear charging upper. I don't like the side charging because I normally replace my charging handles, and you can't do it as easy with side charging. Well, Mimi, I'm glad you realized that you will probably need a firearm one day. We all do. Um, we can't we can't count on the police to protect us. We need to protect ourselves. So, and there's nothing to be afraid of. Um, I've been a firearm owner for over 40 years, and my guns have never shot anybody, so they must be defective. I got some dummy rounds for dry fire training a week ago to review from Snap Point, and you may want to check out my video. These things are fantastic. I just love them. Most of the snap caps out there are either plastic or aluminum, and they're very light. These things use repurposed actual 9mm brass with 115 grain bullet, only there's no primer and powder in them, so that when you dry fire train, it actually feels just like your gun will in real life. So, all right, so now we'll open this up to you guys for questions. That's why we do this. A lot of people maybe just wondering about things and they're afraid to ask the question. Don't be afraid. This is the place to do it. We don't judge. We don't make fun of everyone. This is, like I said, for you guys, where we can share and exchange firearms related information with each other. If you have any topics or comments, as long as it's firearms related, you want a purse size one, which is best? That's a very difficult question, Mimi, because there's a lot of firearms that'll fit in a purse. And honestly, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so and watch my videos. I am not a fan of carrying a firearm off body. As an NRA instructor, when I see people carrying a purse, I cringe. It makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. It's carrying in a purse, I think, is irresponsible and it's dangerous. You have to babysit your purse, and contents move in the purse. You never really know what a safe direction is. There's a lot of crap in the purse to get caught in the trigger guard. And, you know, then how many accidents are there where someone will leave a firearm in the purse and the kid goes in the purse looking for candy or taking money out of mommy's wallet and finds the firearm? Or you're walking down the street and somebody steals your purse. Now they got a nice purse and a firearm. Just not a fan of that. If you have to, carry the firearm in a fanny pack. But watch my video on that, Mimi. It's a bit graphic, but I did it on purpose to stress the point. But the main thing is, besides the fact that, you know, you can lose your firearm, is that you just, you know, one of the rules of gun safety is always have the firearm pointed in a safe direction. You never know what a safe direction is in a purse. But I digressed, and I have ADHD, so I have a tendency to ramble on, so feel free to stop me anytime you want. However, if you want a firearm that is very easy to conceal, that you can wear inside your waistband or in a fanny pack, I highly recommend the Savage Stance XR or the Springfield Hellcat Pro. They are micro compact pistols with a very small footprint, and they don't print at all. I carry those to work, and nobody has any clue I'm carrying a firearm at work. So, and I don't judge people based on the firearms they own. You know, I understand everybody doesn't have the budget, and some people have a Taurus, and I really try not to badmouth the firearms industry. However, there are two I will badmouth, and that is a Sky or a High Point. I'd rather carry a brick and throw it at them than to use that, but yes, maybe it is protecting oneself. And a Taurus, for the money, is a decent gun in the $250 price range. I got to tell you, though, as an NRA instructor, I always tell my students to buy the best gun they can afford. And I got to tell you, the Ruger RXM, you can get that now for $360. That is by far the best bang for the buck. And if you want a micro compact gun that you can carry anywhere, um, the Savage Stance XR that just came out is about $406. That's made in the USA, just like the Ruger. It's an awesome gun for the money. And that's what this is all about, is asking questions. No such thing as a stupid question. The Glock 26 is a good gun as well. I have nothing against Glock. I used to be a Glock poster child. I own a lot of Glocks. And one day my wife said to me, you know, you should buy a gun from a company you don't already have. And I thought about it. I was like, well, why did I do that? Well, I'm glad I took her advice because I kind of went overboard and I bought the Springfield Hellcat Pro. I bought the Springfield Echelon. I bought Sig Sauers and I bought Walthers. And you know what? As much as I like Glocks, there's a lot of other guns out there that are going to go bang every time you pull the trigger and offer more features for less money. Yeah, I get it that the Glock is reliable. It's been around 30 years, yada, yada, yada. So there's just not enough data about the other guns, but I could tell you, I have no doubt in my mind that the Smith & Wesson Equalizer, the SIG 320, the Springfield Echelon, I can go on and on and on, are going to last just as long as a Glock will. And for less money. I just think that Glock is at the point now where it's like a cult. They could turn out whatever they want, and they just keep turning out new guns with are just no different than any other one, except a couple minor changes just to sell firearms. Yeah, I love the way the Glocks look. They look cool, etc. But I'm just saying, after owning a lot of other guns, I could just tell you Glock is not the only reliable gun that's going to go bang, and you can get a lot more gun for less money. And believe me, I still love my Glocks, and I won't part with any of them, but I just think that there's better alternatives out there now because Glock has done nothing to improve on the firearm. And I get the logic that, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But my biggest pet peeve of Glock is that now you have to pay extra money to get the MOS version to mount an optic. And in my opinion, if you're going to market a firearm as a defensive firearm, they should all be optic ready right out of the box. You shouldn't have to pay another $150 for an MOS version like Glock makes you do. I'm sorry, that's just wrong. I mean, the $360 Ruger RXM, optics ready. Smith & Wesson Equalizer, optics ready. Hellcat Pro, optic ready. Springfield Echelon, optic ready. The new Savage Stance, optic ready. And I don't care, even if you don't ever have an intention of using an optic, you should still have the ability to do it. And they shouldn't charge you extra for it. It should be standard on any defensive gun. Where is the best place to buy one? Okay. Check out the local ranges in your area as far as getting range lessons, because I don't know where you're located. The best place to buy one, I find, is grabagun.com or Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo. Depending on where you live, you'll have to get it shipped to your FFL. And good for you to get range lessons. For a new gun owner, I would recommend you getting lessons before you even buy a gun, My recommendation to you, Mimi, is go to your local gun range. And I'm not telling you to buy one there because a lot of times they're a lot more expensive because they're mom and pops. But rent your fire. You live in Dallas, Texas. Awesome. Grab a Gun is in Texas. I have a good friend of mine that lives in Texas, and I turned him on to that place. He goes there all the time. Anyway, my recommendation, Mimi, before you buy a gun, go to your local gun store and your gun range and see if you can rent a firearm. The most important thing about a firearm is the way it fits and the way you can shoot it. Don't listen to people and say you should buy this. You buy what you're comfortable with. And there's no one size fits all when it comes to firearm. And I don't want you to make an expensive mistake and just go buy a gun, bring it home, take it to the range and say it sucks or that you can't shoot it well. Gun ranges have the most popular guns, like a Glock 19. I'm sure they have that. So that would be my advice to you. And good for you, Ultrafire. Grab a Gun is awesome. And I didn't forget you, Khalif. I'll get back to you in a second. It doesn't matter how old you are, Mimi. And welcome, USMC, Jerry. Thanks again for your service. And we're doing well today. Hope you are also. It doesn't matter how old you are, Mimi, but now that you did mention your age, what I would recommend is take a look at the Smith & Wesson Equalizer. It's got the easy technology. It's very easy to rack the slide. And to get back to you, Khalif Smith, that Ruger American 45 is awesome. I have the compact, and the compact only holds 7 rounds. The full size holds 10. And I'm okay with 7. If I have to, I'd carry an extra magazine. But I got to tell you that Ruger American is probably one of my favorite 45s. And Sam, welcome from the UK. Glad to have you. I have not picked up a FRT yet, and I don't know what that is. And again, you have to go by what you're comfortable with. I never tell anybody what caliber to get. Go to the range and shoot the damn thing. There's not much difference in recoil between a 380 and a 9mm. My wife is actually a very good shooter. One of her favorite guns is my Glock 20, and that's a 10mm. People shouldn't get so hung up on the caliber. The best caliber is what you shoot well. What works for one may not work for somebody else. I love 45 and 10mm. I never would tell anybody to go out and get one. Rare breed for the win. What is the rare breed, Ultrafire? That's a good question there, Practical Civilian. 308 or 6.5, they're both awesome calibers. I own a 308, so I would have to go with that, but I hear a lot of good things about the 6.5 Creedmoor, but I have to go with the 308 because I can only talk about what I have. And no, Mimi, I did not serve in the military. We salute our soldiers and we thank them for their service, but I did not serve. Yes, I know that, Carlos. I own the Hellcat Pro. It's a great gun. And it's what I used to carry to work almost all the time. But I got to tell you, since I got the Savage Stance XR, it kind of replaced my Hellcat. So, Corey, what about a H&R 922 revolver? Would you say it's a good gun? I don't I don't know what a H&R 922 revolver is. I'm sorry. Do you clean your guns regularly? That is a great question there, Mimi. I clean my guns every time I go to the range. Um, it doesn't matter whether I shoot 1 round, 100 rounds, or 1,000 rounds. Every time I go to the range, I clean my guns. And at minimum, guns that I don't shoot, uh, I fire those, I clean those at least twice a year. Fortunately, I don't really have any guns I don't shoot. And for those who haven't joined us before, we do this every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern, and we run until 1 o'clock. So it is 12:38. We will be ending this at 1. So get your questions out there. If you have comments about guns you own or suggestions, uh, I'd like to hear them. I'm always looking for new firearms. Like I said, every time I go to the gun store, it just gets harder and harder uh, for me to find a gun I like. Um, I am not a hunter, not yet. It's something I've always wanted to do. When I retire, I probably will do it. Thank you so much, dear Ultra Fire. I really, really appreciate that. Um, I love all of you guys. Um, I I get a lot of enjoyment out of doing this. If you can't tell, um, firearms is a big passion of mine. I've been involved with firearms for 45 years since I was a little kid. My daddy taught me to shoot, and I love the interaction with my viewers and subscribers. Um, some of the bigger YouTube channels forgot how they got to where they are. And they get to where they are because of you people. All you people that subscribe, watch videos, and register. And that's why I do this. I just uh, like the interaction and the relationship with you guys. And uh, we share a lot of information together. And again, to those who just joined, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel. Watch our videos, like our videos, leave comments. It's very important. Um, YouTube does not like gun-related YouTube channels. And uh, sometimes they don't push the videos out to enough people. However, if you comment on videos and you like videos and you watch them and you share them, YouTube pushes them out to more people. The more people watch our videos, the more monetization we get, and that allows us to buy more firearms to review for you guys. So again, I thank everyone who's subscribed to the channel. We're on our way now to 7,000 subscribers, which is phenomenal. A year ago, we only had a 1,000 subscribers, and we'll probably be close to 10,000 by the end of this year. And that is just remarkable, and it's all because of you guys. Is my job related to guns? Nope. Believe it or not, I am a computer geek by trade. And as far as the Second Amendment, we definitely need to fight for our Second Amendment. Gun Owners of America is having their convention in Knoxville, Tennessee in August. And I'm happy to announce that Gun Owners of America has granted me media access as a YouTube contributor, so I'm real happy about that. Yeah, I guess JDZ, that kind of makes sense. Gun Owners of America does a lot for our gun rights. I got to tell you, um, I've been very disappointed with the NRA the past few years. And I'll be perfectly honest, the only reason I am an NRA member is because I have to be to keep my instructor certification. If it wasn't for that, I would probably ditch them. NRA has sold us out numerous times. Gun Owners of America does a lot more. They don't just squander our money away. Cool for you, Daddy. Um, Matter of fact, like I said, this big beautiful bill that screwed us on the suppressors and short-barreled rifles. Gun Owners of America is in the process of filing a big beautiful lawsuit against NFA. To those who have joined late, I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of confusion, I guess, by people that think that we accomplished something. And thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. But anyway, I'm sorry, I digressed. The big beautiful bill, the parliamentarian ripped out the verbiage on it that called to remove suppressors and short-barreled rifles from the NFA. So all they did was remove the $200 tax stamp. And I go onto these gun forums and everybody's like, woohoo, we had a major win. We did not have a major win. We didn't win anything. The only thing we won was they removed the $200 tax. This was not only for monetary reasons. You still have to file paperwork with the ATF, go through your waiting period, so you're not going to a gun store and buying a suppressor and going home with it. All right? So this was not a major win. So I wanted to clarify that to anyone that thinks that the suppressors and the short-barreled rifles are no longer required to be registered with ATF. That is not true. Okay? Only thing that changed was there's no $200 tax stamp. I agree with you there, Ultrafire. I mean, honestly, I get the suppressors. Suppressors should probably be covered under the National Hearing Protection Act, right? A suppressor serves a point. I'm not getting the short-barreled rifles. I mean, buy a rifle or buy a damn pistol, but having a rifle with like a 12-inch barrel is just stupid, in my opinion. I get it if you want to play the, infringement on our rights card. I mean, I'd rather see less restrictions than more, but I'm just not getting the logic, right? I mean, a short-barreled rifle is a rifle that's got a barrel less than 16 inches long, right? If you have a 14 and a half inch barrel, what the hell are you going to hit with that? You're not going hunting with it. You're not shooting competition with it. I just don't see it. I mean, any barrel is deadly. I mean, even a 10 and a half inch AR pistol, even the 7-inch for that matter, is deadly. It's all based on shot placement. Ozzy Osbourne, first-time viewer. I'm a CCL holder in Illinois. You have a hobby of making leather holsters. That is awesome. You know what, Ozzy? I'm going to put my email here. All right, here's what I did, Ozzy. I put my email there, okay? And shoot me out an email. I buy a lot of holsters, especially leather. I spent a lot of money on my leather holsters from Tucker Gun Leather and waited 6 months. Um, so I'd really be interested in seeing your holsters and even giving you a plug by reviewing it here on Pro Gun. For those who just joined, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so. And I didn't forget about you, Mike. I did not have a chance to look into those safes. I think I found an alternative. I saw a Hornady 12-gun rifle safe today. I may just get that for my long guns, and my problem will be resolved. It's 12:48. We got about 12 minutes left. So get your questions out there or make your comments now. Be Strong 1, 11.5 inches, fantastic. I also love your 20, however, 13. Hell yeah, whatever works, brother. I mean, I love them all. I mean, I got 7, 10.5, 11, 16, 20. I have all different barrel lengths. However, if you're thinking of building a 300 blackout pistol, 300 blackout was really designed for like 10-inch barrels and pistols. They're awesome. You have a few short videos on your YouTube channel. You know what? I'm going to lose it if you put it here. Send your YouTube channel to my email address, please, Ozzy. I'd like to. I'm really curious. I'd like to take a look at your holsters. And I'm sure others would too. Leather holsters aren't cheap. I bought a leather holster from Tucker Gun Leather for my Colt Python, and don't get me wrong, it's worth every penny of it. But I had to wait 4 months for it. Mimi, I store my guns in a gun safe. Every responsible gun owner should have a gun safe. Nice. Be Strong. That's nice at 300 yards. Sweet. Exactly, Tim. Exactly. I agree. We don't need any stupid laws. The problem is when the Second Amendment was written, it didn't have all of these bullshit conditions. The Second Amendment didn't say you could own this and you can't own that and you can't own this caliber. Hell, the Second Amendment didn't even say that. The Second Amendment didn't even say that felons couldn't own guns. And the government just adds this stupid nonsense. Phobos holsters are pretty good, but I got to tell you, MS Coast Prepper, there's nothing, trust me, there's nothing like a custom-made leather holster. Phobos holsters are nice. They're not custom-made. The custom-made holster I got from Tucker Gun Leather, yeah, it's expensive, but it was worth every penny of it, and it was worth waiting 4 months. You pick the leather color, you pick the thread, whether you want a medallion or a concho, everything about it is custom made based on your specs. There's nothing like it. And I agree, Be Strong One, we should not have laws. And this is because people vote for liberals. The liberals just keep making up laws that don't exist. And we have to eventually get these people out of office. I think even the liberals right now are seeing how dangerous that they are. We'll never get our gun laws on a federal level. I went to the NRA convention in Dallas last year. I heard President Trump talk about national reciprocity. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen because the liberal states are never going to go along with it, and they'll fight it, and they'll take it to court, and I'll be long dead before that ever goes through, if ever. Okay, so we got about 12 minutes left. So if anyone has comments or suggestions on firearms, I'd like to hear them. Like I said, when I get to a gun store, I have a harder and harder time finding a firearm that I want. Nothing just screams "take me home" anymore. I mean, there are some that I want, but I don't really need anymore. I want a couple more 1911s and a couple more revolvers in addition to the lever action rifle. But it just, I don't know, maybe it's me. It just, nothing appeals to me anymore. And that is the freedom of choice. And that's why I say on every live stream, we have to fight for our rights. Don't take your rights for granted. We live in the great state of Tennessee here, and our gun laws are very, very liberal here. And I don't take it for granted because we're only a mass shooting or an election away. Reach out to your representatives. It does matter. I follow the gun laws in my state weekly. I want to know every month what gun laws are going through. I check up on all the representatives in the state of Tennessee, and I find out what politicians are anti-gun, and I won't vote for them. And then the politicians that are pro-gun, I contact them by phone, by mail, by email, and I urge them to vote for pro-gun bills and not to vote for anti-gun bills. And you should do the same. Hell, I even signed petitions for other states just to help protect their gun rights. It's something you need to do. You just can't be complacent that your state is gun friendly. Before moving to the great state of Tennessee, we used to live in the communist state of New Jersey. And when I was a kid, New Jersey was gun friendly. My dad used to have a carry permit. Then the liberals took it over and destroyed it. And one day you woke up and you could barely own a gun in New Jersey anymore. Just like that. So don't take it for granted that you live in a gun-friendly state. That could end in one election. Could change everything. You got to fight, and we fight every day. I'm proud to be part of Gun Owners of America. I'm proud to be participating in their Goals 2025 in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'll be fighting for our rights every day. All right, we got 5 minutes left, guys. Please get your questions out there. Again, if you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'd greatly appreciate that. If you like what we do here, please consider joining our channel. If you join our channel and become a member, there's a lot of perks. There's videos that members get to see first. I have live one-on-one streams with members only, tech support, etc. You'll see the join button on most of my videos if you want to consider doing that. Anything to help grow the channel, I would appreciate. Yep, I agree, Mimi. Freedom of choice and using our smarts. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't use their smarts, especially on the people they vote for. It just amazes me when you hear a Democrat talking about guns, and it's almost like an oxymoron, right? I mean, you're a Democrat and you're going to vote for the people to take your gun rights away? It just doesn't make any sense. Well, I'm glad you got some information that you could use, Mimi. Again, Thank you for finding our channel and watching. And this is why we do this live stream every Saturday. It's for you guys. I just enjoy being able to help people and answer questions. I don't have all the answers, and if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know, but I will get the answer for you. And the great thing about this is everybody doesn't know everything, but everybody knows something. So everyone here can contribute one way or another to the live stream, and that's why it's been so successful. We do this every week, and it's because you guys request it. Freedom 2025. No, I am not doing this tomorrow. I do the live streams every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. And I appreciate that, Mimi. I guess my daddy did a great job. I don't take any credit. My daddy taught me everything I know about firearms when I was a little kid. And I just love sharing knowledge and helping out, especially new people. I just started posting a series on dry fire training for new gun owners. Mimi, take a look at all my videos. I have videos just for new gun owners. There's a lot of good information out there. I also created playlists that put videos into categories so that you don't have to just blindly search for them. So if you go to playlist, you may see a category called new gun owners, and go to that as well. Freedom 2025. Glad you joined anyway. Make it when you can. I can't pick a day that works for everybody. Debbie Angel, to answer your question, yes, I agree that nonviolent felons should get their rights back in every state. The Constitution doesn't say you can't be a felon, okay? And for them to lump everybody together and say that a felon can't own a gun is just bullshit. If you're a convicted felon of like tax evasion, embezzlement, white-collar crime, inside trading, you never were a threat to anybody. I absolutely believe that those people should be pardoned and should be allowed to own and carry a firearm. Mimi, I've been a computer geek for almost 40 years now. It's just what I do. Oh, no problem there, Freedom 2025. I'm just stating that I tried to pick a day that would be convenient for people, and it's hit or miss. Sunday, I get it. People go to church. It just happens to be Saturday works for me, and that's when I do them. And, the ironic thing about it was that I originally was going to do one time, and I was going to do one live stream, and I did it once, and everybody required it, and it became a weekly thing now because people enjoy it so much. We get great interaction. I love the questions people ask. We get, once in a while, we get a couple pain in the asses, but they're welcome to. And I do have the right to delete them from the chat as well as their stupid comments. But it makes it interesting. But overall, when I consider that, at the end of the day, 3,000 people join the live stream and I get 2 or 3 wise asses, that's a very, very small percentage, and it doesn't discourage me from doing this. So, Freedom 2025, I hope you can join our stream next week. Also, I put I'm going to do it again. Freedom 2025. I just put my email address in the chat. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. Yes, I have a lot of suggestions for new revolver owners, Jonathan. Taurus makes great revolvers. Charter Arms makes great revolvers. The Ruger SP101 is an awesome 357. I want to get a Ruger SP101. I have a Colt Python. I have a Smith & Wesson 686. Revolvers for a new owner isn't really, I guess the only question about that would be maybe a budget-friendly price for a new owner, because they all pretty much work the same way. Rossi also makes a great quality revolver. I would not recommend anything under a 3-inch barrel on a revolver if you're getting a 357 Magnum, though. And you're welcome very much there, Freedom 2025. This is why we do it, to help each other out. So if you have any questions between our streams, everyone is free to email me, and I will answer everyone. Well, it's a little over. It's 1:04. Yeah, the SP101 is awesome. What do you recommend? Why? I recommend a longer barrel on a revolver to manage recoil. Trust me, I've been shooting revolvers for a long time. There's no fun in shooting a 2.5-inch barrel 357 Magnum. Absolutely no fun in that. I would say a 3-inch barrel for a 357 is minimum. Yes, I can get into my safe very quickly. It's biometric. It just uses a fingerprint. However, I always have a loaded firearm on my nightstand, so the only guns in my gun safe are the guns I'm not going to use that if somebody breaks into my house that day. I carry 24/7, and when I go to bed, I take my gun out of my holster and put it on my nightstand, so I never have to worry about getting to the safe. Safe is just where I warehouse all my other guns. A 4-inch barrel on a revolver is actually ideal. However, I do carry my revolvers, and 4-inch revolver is just too big to carry. Freedom 2025, God bless you, sir. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it, and hope to catch you there next time. Matthew, yes, I do reload my ammo. I reload 45, 10 millimeter, 357. I do not reload 9 millimeter because it's so damn cheap to buy. There's no point. And I don't reload rifle because it's a pain in the ass. But yes, for the most part, my favorite calibers anyway are 357 Magnum, 45 and 10 millimeter, and I probably got 50,000 rounds of those reloaded on my workbench. And yes, Ozzy, snubbies are a handful as far as recoil. However, if you're using it for defense, recoil is not really an issue because recoil only happens after you pull the trigger. You have any specific reloading questions, Matthew? We're going to start wrapping this up soon. No, I have never been robbed. I reload my ammo. Um, I use a RCBS rock chucker, uh, and it's a single stage press, but it works, and that's what I use. And Paul Johnson. Okay, we got another wise ass. So you're going away. Bye bye. All right, guys, it is 1:08. We're going to end this stream now. Thank you again so much. Love all you guys. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. If you like what we do here, we do this live stream every Sunday. Every Saturday at 12 o'clock noon Eastern. And we do this every week. So I hope you can all join next time. So till next time, guys, be safe, shoot well. Love you all. Have a good day.